When the 31-year-old Ekuanya Konsei-Bonsu settled on the Ridge Hospital for her antenatal visits, little did she know that she would not be walking out with her baby in her arms, let alone her life. Sadly, not only did the young nurse lose her baby shortly after delivery, but she died too.
So it was through the Doppler scan that they realized that she had a condition called IUGR, which in their medical term, uterine gestation restriction, which is something that reduces the weight of the kid. So what they will do is that they will remove the kid so that they will put the kid in neonatal care for the kid to develop from there. And she was in the eighth month, and I said 2 weeks or so. Then the next day, the doctors that came to see her said they will still go ahead with the surgery. But the first batch left in the morning. They come as a group. Ridge have that system where they have about 4 or 5 doctors coming to you at a time. So when they came, but they have head of everything. So I think after it all, they decided to do the surgery. But the second group that took over from the first group came with the notion that they would put her on a drug for 8 days. So that after the 8 days, they would check to see whether she will be improving. The first group that came said no, they will still go ahead with the surgery. So they went ahead. Then 9/10, which is 9/10, they checked the chart still. It was still 1/10, and the chart passed on. I met her in the evenings of Monday evening. That is, let's say 12 hours after cesarean session, only for me to come home and return the next day and be told she's passed on.
But the bereaved husband insists there was foul play, explaining that his wife's death could have been avoided had health staff at the Ridge Hospital provided better care.
I applied for autopsy, which they did in my presence, and the situation that I was told was pulmonary embolism. So, meaning it is blocking of the lungs, which has to do with blood clot that was formed from the leg, moved through. And then when you go to the lungs, the valves in the lung, it blocked. My little check on the causes of the pulmonary embolism showed to me that there are precautionary measures that are often taken to prevent it. And it's part of the protocol of every hospital that delivers women. So what I did was that I tried to inquire from the hospital whether they took those precautionary measures. Now, the hospital administration agreed and gave me a report. There are precautionary drugs or precautionary measures that are often taken, and part of it is a drug that they often administer. Now, from my own checks, what I realized was that my wife was not given that drug.
He has therefore filed a suit against the hospital, demanding 5 million cedis in compensation from the management of the facility for his troubles.
They wrote in the report that it's part of the protocol of the hospital to administer it. But the husband did not procure it, even though it was prescribed. So they implicated me that I was the one who couldn't procure the drug for her. That is why they could not get the drug to administer to her. After I realized that the facility could not provide the medication, and they did that and intentionally tried to implicate me, I went to the hospital administration and checked from my wife's receipt of drugs that we procured. And interestingly, I realized that the name of the drug that the hospital mentioned that I didn't buy was bought. The name of the drug is Fragmin, and it is an anticoagulant. 12 hours after cesarean section is when it becomes eminent that blood clotting can be formed. And she died in the 18th hour. Between the 12th hour to the 18th hour, they could have even allowed her to walk a little bit, which is often done at certain hospitals to prevent blood from clotting. They did not do that. Yeah, the suit was filed last week, and we're hoping this week they will be served, so that subsequently whatever the legal procedures has to do will follow, and then come to a logical conclusion of whatever we'll be expecting from the court. I'm suing them 5 million Ghana cedis for the damage that they've caused to me.
Sister of the deceased also spoke about how the loss has affected the family.
The news of her getting married got all of us happy. But to hear of her sudden demise was a big blow to us and to all the family. Yes, for having lost her and then the baby as well, it hasn't been easy for us. Even in this time, we still remember her and we feel she didn't die, because I feel there was something that could have been done for her to have her back to life, which was never done. So,
although City News reached out to officials of the Ridge Hospital for comments, they declined to speak on the matter.
Reporting for City News, I am Nashika Caesar.